Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a topic that literally impacts every single one of us. I mean, think about it. From the absolute second we wake up and check our phones, to those late-night caffeine-fueled hours spent rushing to submit an assignment online. We're taking a hard look at your daily digital routine, and we're asking a pretty fundamental question. Why does everyday cyber safety matter for a student? It's so incredibly easy to think of cybersecurity as this massive, complex thing that only big tech companies or government agencies really need to worry about. But as we're going to see from our source material today, the actual front line of digital security, it's right there in your backpack. It's on your laptop, and it's built right into your daily scrolling habits. So let's dive into this.
Here is the quick roadmap for our crash course today. 1. The student digital dilemma. 2. Decoding cyber threats. 3. Your cyber safety guide. 4. The security hotline. And 5. The cyber safe pledge. Let's get right to it.
All right, Section 1, the student digital dilemma. So I want you to picture this. Is it safe to click a Google Drive link sent by a lecturer via WhatsApp? Think about your average super busy Tuesday. You're stressed, you're waiting on some vital study materials for an upcoming test, and suddenly your phone buzzes. It's a WhatsApp message, and it totally looks like it's from your professor sharing a document you need. Your immediate instinct is just to click it, right? I mean, who wouldn't? But this scenario right here highlights exactly how cleverly digital threats blend into everyday academic life. Hackers completely know that you're stressed and moving fast. They literally prey on that. So taking just a split second to stop and question, wait, does my lecturer actually communicate important files over WhatsApp? That tiny pause can save your entire digital life.
And honestly, that WhatsApp scenario, that's just the tip of the iceberg. What's really fascinating here is how incredibly mundane these everyday risks actually seem. We're talking about stuff like using the exact same password for your learning management system, your school email, and your Instagram. Or, hanging out at a local cafe and hopping on their completely unencrypted public Wi-Fi just to submit a massive assignment. Or maybe you're trying to save a few bucks by downloading some cracked software for a class project. These super common actions are exactly why student cyber safety matters so much. You might think you're just being efficient or saving some money, but one single slip-up here can lead to a completely lost assignment, a hijacked social media identity, or honestly, much worse. It's all totally interconnected.
Moving on to Section 2, decoding cyber threats. Let's build up the vocabulary you're going to need to become a bit of a cybersecurity detective.
First up on the list is malware. Now, the strict technical definition here is harmful software designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to a computer system. But our source material challenges us to explain this simply, like as if we were explaining it to a grandmother. So think of malware kind of like a really nasty digital flu bug. If you let it into your house, or in this case your computer, it's going to make everything sick. It'll slow down your entire system, and it might even unlock the front door so strangers can sneak in and rummage through your digital filing cabinets. And remember that cracked software we just talked about trying to download for free? Yeah, that is hands down one of the most common ways this digital flu sneaks right through your front door.
Next up is phishing. This is the fraudulent practice of sending messages pretending to be from reputable sources, all to steal your personal information. If I had to explain this to, say, a brand new intern at a company, I put it like this. Imagine you get this frantic, urgent email that looks exactly like it's from the big boss, and they're demanding your login details to fix some huge emergency. Because you're new and you're eager to help, you just hand over the keys. But guess what? It wasn't the boss. It was a thief wearing a very, very convincing disguise. That fake WhatsApp lecture link from our warm-up earlier, that is a textbook phishing attack. It's perfectly designed to trick you right when your guard is down.
And then we have encryption. This is the process of converting your information or data into a code to prevent unauthorized access. Let's totally demystify this for a second. Imagine you want to pass a highly secret note to your best friend all the way across the classroom, but you know the teacher's probably going to intercept it. Well, if you write that note in a secret language that literally only you and your friend know, even if the teacher grabs it, they can't read a single word. That is encryption. It basically acts as this essential, unbreakable digital lock, keeping your personal data completely unreadable and safe as it travels across the wild west of the internet.
And finally, we have the dreaded data breach. This is the exposure of confidential information, and this concept brilliantly illustrates our earlier point, because data breaches are so often entirely preventable just by using a strong, unique password. Think back to that risk we mentioned of reusing your password across your school systems and your Instagram. If Instagram suffers a data breach and hackers get their hands on your password there, the absolute first thing they're going to do is try that exact same email and password combination on literally every other site they can find. If you reuse passwords, a breach on some fun random social app suddenly becomes a massive breach of your entire academic and financial life. Yikes, right?
Okay, Section 3, your cyber safety guide. Let's look at the practical, real-world application of all this knowledge.
Our source breaks this down into some crystal clear do's and don'ts. On the do side, do use strong, unique passwords. Please, do update your software regularly. And yes, I know those update pop-ups are super annoying, but they are actually patching critical security holes in real time. And do check links carefully before you click, especially if the message is aggressively pushing you to take urgent action. Remember, panic is a hacker's absolute best friend. Now, on the don't side, don't download unknown files or cracked software because, hello, malware. And don't log into your important accounts on public Wi-Fi without a secure connection. The crucial takeaway here is exactly what the source advises. Taking small, easy safety steps today absolutely prevents incredibly serious, stressful problems in the future. It's all about building a protective daily habit.
Which brings us to Section 4, the security hotline. Let's transition into some real-world response scenarios.
My laptop is very slow. Uh-oh, I clicked a strange link. Help, my account is locked. If you've ever dealt with any of these issues, you know that instant, sinking dread that sets in. When you are the user in this situation, you feel worried, you feel confused, and you just want it fixed fast. Presenting these super realistic hotline scenarios really makes those abstract threats we just defined feel urgent and incredibly real. Suddenly, malware isn't just a vocab word you need to memorize, it's the literal reason your laptop is too slow to load your final midterm exam.
So how do we actually fix it? The source walks us through the required protocol for an IT support agent. And it's fascinating because when someone calls in a total panic, the agent cannot panic with them. They have to stay cool and follow a strict process. Step 1, ask at least 2 clarifying questions. For example, hey, can you tell me exactly what happened right before the problem started? You always have to diagnose before you prescribe. Step 2, give 1 clear instruction. Not 5 technical things at once that will just overwhelm the user. Just one simple, clear step, like, please restart your device and run a virus scan. This really shows how incredibly methodical and calm a threat response has to be to actually solve the problem.
But what if the problem is, well, much, much worse? This introduces the ultimate "you've been hacked" scenario. Imagine waking up, grabbing your phone, and seeing this notification. Your email and social media accounts were accessed last night from another country. The stakes are unbelievably high here. The victim is going to be deeply panicked, reacting with totally justified fear about their stolen identity, their private messages, maybe even their connected bank accounts. Literally everything is suddenly exposed. To handle a severe crisis exactly like this one, the source material breaks down how an advisory team must react. It's essentially a massive escalation of that hotline protocol. Step 1, the advisors have to ask at least 3 detailed questions to scope out the actual extent of the breach. Step 2, they need to provide immediate step-by-step instructions, things like freezing accounts, changing core passwords from a totally different safe device, and instantly enabling 2-factor authentication. Step 3, an observer notes if they are using clear language and giving good advice. In a crisis, communication is quite literally everything. Because if the advice isn't clear, the victim can't execute it, and the hacker ultimately wins. It's all about maintaining logical problem-solving under extreme pressure.
And that brings us to our final stop. Section 5, the CyberSafe Pledge.
I agree to being cyber-safe online. Signed, blank. It's just a simple digital signature pledge from our source material, but honestly, it carries a whole lot of weight. Because cyber safety isn't passive. It isn't something that just magically happens to you. It's an active, daily choice you have to make. So, as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question to really chew on. Knowing what you know now about phishing, malware, password reuse, and the sheer unadulterated panic of a completely infected laptop, are your current digital habits truly safe enough for you to honestly sign your name on this pledge today? Just think about that before you blindly click your next link. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, stay safe out there.